Hello, dear friends. Welcome back to Parversion, the channel that shares knowledge for holistic self-development through inspiring books. Every one of us has experienced moments of unease, anxiety, and stress. Perhaps you're a student facing university exams, burdened by family expectations, carrying the fear of failure, or dreading comparisons with friends. Or maybe you're struggling under financial pressure, grappling with tumultuous relationships, quietly enduring illness, or facing sudden, unexpected life events. There are even those who feel a deep sadness without knowing why, only an emptiness and exhaustion within. All these examples describe a state of overwhelming turmoil and indescribable disquiet. Recurring thoughts relentlessly swirl, like pebbles tossed into a lake, endlessly disturbing the surface. The problem is, when confronted with this discomfort, people often try to soothe themselves by scrolling through their phones, watching movies, playing games, oversleeping, shopping excessively, eating mindlessly, or using stimulants. They might seek conversations to escape, hoping to numb their emotions. However, these are merely temporary distractions. Even reading a book, your mind can still be in a state of distraction. So, what is the quickest and most sustainable way to escape this deep-seated fear? It is to build and maintain your own mental space, or headspace, and to learn how to return to it whenever you need. Headspace, or mental space, is a central concept in the book I want to introduce to you today, which I've tentatively titled, How to Have Enough Mental Space. This book comes highly recommended by two highly influential figures, Bill Gates and Ray Dalio. It's not just praised for its simple, accessible language, but for its profound practicality and the quiet yet enduring power of transformation it offers. The author of this book is someone who has endured a series of major tragedies in his life. After his parents divorced, he found a new family and deeply cherished his adorable younger sister. But then, a sudden car accident snatched his sister away. His entire family was shattered. Andy left home, wandering aimlessly to escape reality. Then another shock struck. His girlfriend passed away during heart surgery. He tried to pick himself up, but another devastating climax occurred on a fateful Christmas Eve. As he and his friends were laughing and chatting on the street after a celebration, a car lost control, plowing into them and throwing people into the air. Some died instantly, others were severely injured. These accumulated shocks were like relentless waves, sweeping away all meaning from his life. Andy fell into a state of prolonged trauma, anxiety, disorientation, unable to live like a normal person. Because of this, he embarked on a journey to monasteries and temples in many countries, including India, Thailand, Myanmar, Russia, Poland, England, and Australia, to practice and seek solutions for his life. Ultimately, Andy discovered the core method that helped him completely escape suffering: mindfulness meditation. Mindfulness meditation is not a religion. It is a scientific method that helps establish a tranquil space within your mind. A place where you are not controlled by emotions, where you can find peace and genuine fulfillment. After more than 10 years of practice, the author has actively shared his invaluable experiences and lessons, helping millions worldwide overcome stress, anxiety, past trauma, and fears about the future. I myself once read this book before I truly understood meditation. After consistently practicing and maintaining Headspace for many years, I've received wondrous benefits from it. 2 years ago, I introduced this method to an American friend who was struggling with depression. Today, she has graduated with a master's degree and rediscovered the joy of living. Many people have heard of meditation and its benefits. However, not everyone fully understands what mindfulness meditation truly is, nor is it easy to grasp and sustain as a lasting life habit. That's why, through this book, which many experts consider an ideal introductory guide to mindfulness meditation, I deeply hope to help you better understand meditation, mindfulness, mental space, and provide concrete steps for practice. I hope that mindfulness meditation will become a habit that contributes to enhancing your daily quality of life, helping you stand stronger amidst anxieties and rediscover tranquility on your own journey. This sharing is especially dedicated to students currently navigating the stressful period of exam preparation. I hope you can practice these basic steps to enter your own mental space, enhance concentration, remain calm, and steadfastly face the exciting challenges ahead. Have you ever wondered what meditation truly is, and can it genuinely help you overcome anxiety and stress? Meditation is simply a technique, a method to achieve mindfulness most easily. Mindfulness, on the other hand, is the ability to fully and completely perceive and be aware of what is happening in the present moment, rather than getting lost in past thoughts or future predictions. And this awareness comes without judgment or reaction. When you practice mindfulness, you gain a higher ability to focus and achieve clarity. What does this mean? Behind that focus lies a state of peace. Behind clarity lies understanding. Peace is like an anchor, keeping your mind from being swept away by the swirling currents of anxiety and sorrow. And understanding is the beacon that illuminates the layers of thoughts and emotions deep within, helping you live a more awakened life. After practicing mindfulness meditation, mental space, an inner realm of profound peace, insight, and deep contentment, is the ultimate result you receive. In summary, meditation is the technique, mindfulness is the capacity, and mental space is the outcome of that journey. A journey that liberates you from the imprisonment of ceaseless thoughts and unstable emotions. This is precisely why we should practice mindfulness meditation. So, how can we practice effectively? What are the meditation techniques to maintain mindfulness and enter mental space? The author shared that he once spent up to 18 hours a day meditating in a monastery. Yet the stream of thoughts in his mind never ceased. He sadly complained to his master, "I have practiced so diligently, but every time I meditate, thoughts still appear." The master gently replied, "Meditation is not about trying to stop all thoughts. On the contrary, meditation is like a light illuminating the mind, helping you clearly see everything happening within. That light is awareness." You might not like what you see when the light turns on, but meditation will honestly and clearly reflect the thoughts and emotions that operate within you every day. If the light of awareness isn't switched on, most of our lives will pass unconsciously. Countless seemingly harmless thoughts, especially those about future plans and intentions, will constantly occupy a large portion of our brain's energy. For instance, when first starting to meditate, in less than a minute, many people get caught in a string of thoughts like, "I'll take a shower after this meditation," "Oh, we're out of eggs," "Where should I go this weekend?" and so on. These thought streams seem innocuous, but if not illuminated by the light of mindfulness, they become an undertow, pulling us away from the present reality. The mind begins to rush into an uncertain future. What do I need to do to achieve what? Every to-do thought emerges like a small burden gradually accumulating, leaving you never truly at rest, even when sitting still. Stress and anxiety arise precisely from this constant calculation, this unconscious, ceaseless race. Therefore, let the light of mindfulness help you clearly see these thoughts. This is also the first step to escaping the unconscious loop and reducing the anxiety created by your own mind. So, when confronted with such thoughts, the author presents an important meditation technique called the cars. Imagine all future-oriented thoughts as cars speeding along a busy road. If you try to stop them, it's like stepping into the middle of the road to control traffic, utterly futile. Instead of blocking the cars, pull over to the side of the road, gently sit down and observe. Each car represents a thought within you. When one appears, for example, "I'll finish that report later," acknowledge it as a car passing by. Ah, this is the car of work anxiety. You don't need to chase it, analyze it, or try to make it leave. Simply tell yourself, "I don't need to get in that car." Your task is to return to your anchor in the present moment, focusing on your breath. This is the technique of observing thoughts as cars coming and going without getting carried away by future-oriented thinking. Then there's another type of thought, more persistent and tenacious. These aren't just simple planning thoughts, they are thoughts that drag along, gnawing, tangled emotions, regret, resentment, guilt. "If only I hadn't done that back then. Mom never understood me, always just criticized. Why did he treat me that way?" And so on. The author once shared that even though he was confident he could enter a meditative state after just a few breaths, he was still plagued by these obsessive thoughts. To confront this, the author advises viewing them as wild horses. No matter how powerful wild horses are, or even if you're a professional trainer, you cannot force them to go your way. The more you try to force them, the more they will drag you along. Training wild horses requires a delicate touch, and meditation is similar. The key lies in patience. You cannot make the wild horses of your mind immediately comply and enter the stable. When you try to force them by attempting not to think, giving up, or falling into self-analysis and blame, it means you're still hoping for an outcome that conforms to your own desires. It is in this ceaseless struggle with thoughts and the yearning for something better that you lose the beauty of the present moment. So use a bridle long enough. The more a thought resists, the more gently you must loosen the reins a little. The more patiently you refrain from rushing or forcing, the more you will realize that these wild horses are, in fact, the shadow of longing. They appear when you long to feel safe, to be loved. Your job is not to judge them or agree with them, but simply to observe their presence. Ah, this is the horse of fear of judgment. This is the horse of fear of loneliness, fear of loss, and so on. Then, take 3 to 4 deep breaths, allowing your wild horses more space and time to roam until they depart. Only when you are gentle and patient enough with yourself can you truly heal. The cars have passed, the wild horses are no longer restless. However, from the depths of the heart, a sadness still remains, not violent, not urgent, but subtly spreading. The author, baffled and feeling helpless, sought out his master. Why have I practiced meditation for so long, yet this sadness hasn't diminished at all? And if I cannot escape this feeling of sorrow, how can I ever live joyfully? This question probably resonates with many. Deep-seated traumas, profound loneliness, emotional deprivation stretching back to childhood, unspoken losses, or buried regrets from years past, all still reside within us. They are not as loud as anger, nor as clear as anxiety. Instead, they quietly envelop our inner lives. However, we need to realize that if we try to escape sadness through any means, including meditation practice, it is a futile endeavor. The master told the author that sorrow and joy are 2 sides of the same coin. When you block sadness, joy will also be lost. Have you noticed? Many people, especially adolescents and young adults, often fall into a state of emotional numbness, neither happy nor sad. This state can stem from mounting pressures, invisible impositions, and expectations from society or family, forcing them to shut their hearts to avoid being hurt. But by blocking pain in this way, you simultaneously discard joy. In essence, behind the desire to end sadness is a longing for joy. However, the kind of joy people often seek is conditional. I'm happy because others acknowledge me. I'm happy because my children are obedient, and so on. This is joy in the worldly sense, which always comes with expectation, anticipation, and attachment. If you observe closely, this type of joy is always at risk of fading, because external conditions will constantly change and rarely align with your desires. Mindfulness meditation will guide you to experience a joy that belongs to mental space, an unconditional joy that is quiet yet profound. Regardless of the emotions within you, no matter how many difficulties life presents, you can still feel peace and inner freedom. The miraculous thing is, you don't need to go anywhere far to seek this joy. It is always present within you, waiting for you to recognize it. Simply stop, observe, and honestly listen to what is happening within you, and that joy will naturally unfold. If you are feeling sorrowful now, apply this blue sky meditation technique. Imagine you are on a flight on a gloomy day. As the plane buffets through thick layers of clouds, a feeling of unease and discomfort might surge. Those dense, dark clouds represent the sadness and anxieties besieging your mind. Do not be afraid, because you are certain that no matter how thick the dark clouds, the plane will eventually pass through and your journey will continue. So it is with sorrow and anxiety. That blue sky is the pristine, tranquil, and clear essence of your soul. Even if gloomy emotions obscure your mind, the clarity and peace of your soul still exist. Therefore, when besieged by heavy emotions, the first thing is to always engrave the image of the blue sky, which is always present within you. This is the firmest anchor to help you enter your mental space. Then, ground yourself in the present moment through a body awareness exercise. For instance, if you feel sadness or anxiety surging, gently shift your attention from that emotion to the physical sensations present. It could be the feeling of your hands resting on a book, the soles of your feet touching the ground, or the steady rhythm of your breath at your nostrils. Recently, I experienced a flight on an extremely stormy day. The plane had to cut through a thick layer of dark clouds for over 30 minutes. Strong air currents constantly struck it, causing the plane to tilt left and right, ascend and descend ceaselessly. Everyone on board began to panic. Children screamed. Many turned pale and became nauseous. In that chaotic moment, an image appeared in my mind, the blue sky beyond the clouds. I then regained my composure by taking 4 to 5 deep breaths, straightening my back, placing my hands gently on my thighs, and focusing on my breath from my chest down to my lower abdomen. I felt each inhalation and exhalation. Although the surroundings were still filled with unease, in that moment, I felt an inner stillness. This feeling prevented me from being swept away by fear and from identifying with the physical discomfort. That's why, after landing, I felt completely fine and wasn't dizzy. This was the application of the blue sky meditation technique. Now let's briefly summarize. Do you notice? The crucial key to reducing anxiety and stress is to maintain an effort that requires no effort. Your effort is simply to observe if you are being carried away by a particular thought or emotion. If you are, shift your attention and focus to a specific anchor. When meditating, you can focus on your breath. In daily activities, you can redirect your attention to the object you are interacting with. For example, the taste of the food you're eating, the movement of your feet as you walk, the sensation of water on your skin while showering, the sound of your heartbeat during exercise, the physical contact when you hug your child, and so on. Mindfulness meditation isn't only practiced while sitting in silence. It's about maintaining awareness everywhere, at all times in life. If you can experience life this way, your mental space will always be active, leaving no room for anxiety, sadness, or irritation. When no longer dominated by fear, your consciousness will become increasingly clear, luminous, and from there, you will more easily awaken to life's experiences. The author once shared about his days of monastic life at a temple in Myanmar. The temple rules stipulated that each meal had to be eaten slowly, chewed thoroughly, for a full hour, and almost every day, it was just rice with curry sauce. Then, one day, a donor arrived with a truckload of ice cream for the temple. The author was incredibly excited to eat something new. But because the area was so vast, by the time everyone carried the ice cream tubs to the dining hall, the ice cream had already begun to melt. And stranger still, the abbot did not allow anyone to eat the ice cream immediately. They first had to finish their rice for the full hour before enjoying the treat. He watched helplessly as the sweet, delicious ice cream slowly melted into a puddle before him. Inside him, a thought exploded. Isn't this intentional torture? Why waste the ice cream like this? But then, he calmed his mind, maintained mindfulness, and realized, I voluntarily came to live in this temple, and I can always learn something from any experience. It's just that sometimes I get so caught up in my own thoughts and emotions that I temporarily forget to be awake to this simplicity. Pressure, anxiety, anger, and sorrow will only arise when your heart is still struggling. Do you ever feel resistance when you have to go to school? Many times you feel miserable when the alarm rings and you just want to skip class. In reality, just like the author, you forget that you are the one who voluntarily chose to experience it. Similarly, many people constantly battle with their jobs and relationships in their lives. But even if you think you are forced and have no other choice, ultimately, you still chose and walked your own path. Looking deeper from a Buddhist perspective, your presence in this world is the profound choice of your soul for your journey of experience, not anyone else's. So, release all struggle. Mindfulness meditation will help you return to reality. Realize that all experiences are your own voluntary choice, and from there, the fear of losing control will vanish. You will be free to fly back to the clear blue sky within yourself. These are the 3 core mindfulness meditation techniques to help you become more focused, clear, peaceful, and awake. Next, to help you easily practice mindfulness and maintain mental space anytime, anywhere in your life, we will move into the most important section: practical daily 10-minute mindfulness meditation practice. Unlike previous sharings, this time I will combine the essence from the book with my own experiences to design a guided meditation session, leading you to meditate right here. This is also the first time I'm experimenting with this new format. I truly hope this combination will help you easily grasp and fully practice a meditation session. I hope this guided meditation will be like a wind beneath your wings, helping you shorten the distance to the peaceful blue sky within yourself. For your convenience in daily practice, I will separate this guided meditation segment into a standalone video immediately following the one you are currently watching. Now, please relax, take a deep breath, and begin your 10-minute mindfulness meditation journey. Together, we will enter a realm of stillness, delve into your own mental space, gently dispel anxieties, reduce stress, and rediscover your inherent peace.